What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Unaligned and Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Jack, and today I'm joined by Fanny, a fellow member of the Scoliosis and Spinal Fusion community. She is and I knew I was going to mess, an can you say it, Fanny?
So I teach anatomy to medical
Anatomy.
students and at university. So I guess I'm an anatomist.
Thank you. I'm like, I've been practicing the word and I knew it was going to happen. But yes, Fanny is here to share her knowledge on the human body and what it looks like post-op and talk about her journey with scoliosis. Um, so, Fanny, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It's an honor.
Now, it's an honor to have you. So, take me on your journey. I know you had scoliosis from a young age, and then you had your spinal fusion at, if I did my research right, 11 years old?
13.
13? Okay.
13. Yeah,
Take me on that journey.
absolutely. So my diagnosis is it's like I kind of had like diagnosis and then confirmed diagnosis. So I was born in Ghana. So I was originally diagnosed in Ghana. I think I was either 10 or 11. I cannot remember what age I was diagnosed in Ghana. And at the time they thought, oh, maybe it might be the heavy backpack or something. But I remember we got the x-rays then and it showed curvature of the spine. And we were told it's scoliosis, and we we're told we don't really know what caused it because there's no history in the family of anyone with scoliosis or some sort. So I moved to the UK a year later, and then I went to the GPs, and then that was confirmed. And I got sent to a clinic where they did the x-rays again. And then after the x-rays, they kind of refer you to like a specialist. And so they came back and they were like, okay, you will need surgery. So that was when I was 12. So my I had like a double major curve. My spine was literally like an S shape. I remember my surgeon saying probably the reason we didn't see it early, I was quite chunky as a baby. And because it was an S shape, it was basically balanced. So I was balanced and you don't really see it, especially if you're chunky, right? So I think my grandma was the one who saw that I was kind of leaning to one side when I was walking. And during puberty, you kind of start to stretch out a little bit. So I wasn't as big anymore. And then they kind of detected it. So that's what led to the whole getting the diagnosis.
Did it?
Yeah,
Go,
yeah.
grandma.
Grandma, may her soul rest in peace. Honestly, I can't say
Aw,
my story without mentioning her because she's the
yeah.
one that saw us like, no, something's off. Like, you're not walking straight. So I remember she was like, okay, kind of, I did like a little cartwalk for her. She's like, walk up and
Yeah.
she was looking at the back. She's like, no, it's something, you just keep bending to one side. And then she got everyone to like look at me and they're like, no, you're bending to one side. Even when you're walking, you're bending to one side. And then she was looking at my back and she's like, yeah, it's just not quote unquote the norm, it's not how it
Yeah.
should be. So that's what led to the initial diagnosis. Then when I moved to the UK, got the x-rays taken again and then it got confirmed. I can't quite remember the exact degrees, but I know one was over 90 in my thoracic and the other lumbar was over 100. So it was really like
Yeah,
severe.
really severe.
Yeah. So, and because if you like think about the numbers, over 90, over 100, that's basically like similar curvature. So it's quite
Yeah.
balanced if you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, So then I went so one of the big hospitals in London is Guy's St. Thomas's. So we got transferred over there because they were one of the hospitals that would do the surgery. So I remember we had the whole kind of like consultation. You go in, they take the x-rays, they talk you through what would be needed, blood works. Like it was like a whole
The
thing.
whole workup of
Yeah,
it.
I remember like taking a day out of school or like a morning because you have your consultation. So then they talk to you, you do the whole bending because they want to look at the flexibility of the spine. So like I think I'm not sure when it was. My original surgery was supposed to be around December time. but something happened and then it got moved to like February 2012. So I was supposed to have the surgery in 2011. I had it in 2012 February. So it will be 14 years this February I've had my fusion.
Yes.
And
Happy
I'm like,
early spine anniversary.
yeah, I can't remember the exact date, and I'll kind of like explain why. But
Yeah.
basically, so after you get lots of, consultation, images, they talk to you, they tell you, okay, you're gonna need surgery, what the surgery entails, blah, blah, blah. So I remember at that time I got a booklet which was by the hospital, so Evelina's Children's Hospital, and it's like a scoliosis booklet. It talks about surgery, what to expect, what the surgery entails, and all of that. So I was really reading
I love
that.
that they gave you a booklet. I haven't heard of
Yeah,
that
they
yet,
gave
so
us.
it's really nice.
Oh, okay. They gave us a booklet, what to even pack for hospital stay. So yeah, they had everything, and I remember I went to Primark and packing. I was like, I need to get this morning gown. So I actually got pajamas, morning gown, everything, like fluffy socks, because I was like, I'm gonna stay in hospital.
Yeah,
This is what I'm gonna get. And then just to make it, kind of special, I guess. Um,
definitely.
and prior to the surgery, because you get told idiopathic scoliosis, we don't know what causes it. And then your curve is like really severe. And I'm like, what?
How do you
So
not know what happened? Right.
how? What do you mean? What's going on? So I literally just started to do research. I was like, okay, what is scoliosis? How are they going to do the surgery? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I just really
At
wanted
your
to
at
understand.
such a young age, like, that's
Yeah,
amazing that you, like, took it upon yourself to do that
yeah.
research.
Because
Go
I
little
think
Fanny.
once we had that book and I was like, okay, you're gonna put screws and stuff. I literally were like on YouTube. I feel like they should have censored it on YouTube because I can't believe I was watching like YouTube
The
videos which were
surgeries?
surgeries. Yeah.
I still haven't seen one.
Have
That's
you
wild.
not?
No, I'm so scared to watch.
No, I was like, I will literally be watching, then I'll stop everyone. I'm like, guys, this is what they're gonna do to my back. Like, come and watch. And I think they were like,
Aw, you're like a
um,
teacher from a young
yeah,
age.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, you need to watch this. This is what's gonna happen. I need to understand what's gonna happen. So I went in, so hospital time, surgery time comes. I remember like getting the anesthetic, they kind of like put it in your veins here or somewhere. Then you're on the bed, you count to, well, I don't remember what number I counted
Yeah,
to.
no.
And then all I know, that surgery wasn't, I had another surgery apart from
I
that surgery.
I read that you went through quite a
Too.
journey to
Yeah, I
yeah.
went through quite an
How was
ordeal.
that?
So I actually got my report. I wanted to find out what exactly happened. So I
Yeah.
requested for all my records. And so basically, the first surgery had lots of complications because my body was like unreactive. And in the records, it said they lost spinal monitoring. So, like, nothing was
Movement.
moving, nothing
Nothing
was
was moving.
working. Like, my body's just like, yeah, we shut down. Like, this is so they basically had to stop and
Okay.
figure everything else out because what they had done, well, my legs are not moving, I'm not responding, everything's just shut down. Like, what is going on? Considering this is a routine surgery for them. So
Yeah.
they were very much like, what? And I remember them, like my mom saying that they literally had to get more consultants around you because they were trying to figure out what is going on.
Why
Like,
and what's
obviously
happening.
they've planned the surgery, but you just yeah. So
Yeah. Wow.
I I was kind of like bedridden because obviously they've gone into your back, they've done whatever they need to do, but they
Yeah.
couldn't put the metal work in. So I remember I was in hospital for almost a month instead of that 1 week thing, because in a week they had to reevaluate and figure out what to do so that they can do the surgery again. And since they'd basically taken everything out, I wasn't supposed to move. I literally couldn't move. So I was on my back flat. And apparently when I came back round, I was like eager to get up and
Get
move and
moving.
like, yeah. And they're like, your daughter's like
Mm.
fighting. Like, she needs to calm down because she can't go anywhere, you know? And I think so then in that week, I had like lots of scans and things like that, which I had no memory of until I recently got an MRI scan. And I was like, I got like
Kind
a
of
mini
came
panic
back.
attack there. And then
Ugh.
I saw myself in the like hospital gown in the MRI scan, really scared, really panicky. So then I went home, I asked what happened, and they were like, in that week where you couldn't move and they had to get lots of scans, you were so scared because it's like you just had to listen to them do this, do that. But like,
Yeah, so you're laying there. So
but
just like paint a picture. You're just laying there, unable to move. Your equipment is not in yet because like nothing was responding. So now, but you're
exactly.
mentally kind of there and
Yeah.
unable to move.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
I
lot
think
to
I could
go
like
through,
move my legs
Fanny.
and my arms, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't get up because you are not allowed to
Wow.
get up
Yeah, you're
because
not
you've
allowed to move.
basically got no back support now, right? Because they've gone
Yeah,
in,
because
they've not put
everything.
anything in. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and then having to get lots of imaging to figure out what they need to do next to redo that surgery. And so I just remembered that I was so scared in that MRI scan. I literally started crying in this one, like the recent one I just had. And then because I was getting all those memories back, and I was like, wait, where are these memories coming from? Because when people talk about, their surgical experience, I always say I can't remember anything. And it's not that I don't want to remember. I think my brain has literally said,
Protecting you
this
from
is
what
you're not
happened. That's
yeah,
very like, what you went through is very, like,
yeah,
traumatic, and it's a lot. Yeah.
exactly. At such a young age.
Mhm.
So getting these back, I was like, "Oh, this is not pleasant. What is going what is
Oh,
going on?" But so it just led me to, like, talk to the family, find out a bit more because they were the ones having to, like, sign everything and
rally
consent.
for
So
you. Yeah.
exactly. So they were the ones who actually went through a lot because, yes, I was present, but then I'm high on the drugs. I
Yeah.
basically have to be flat for them to,
Flat.
and everything. So it was just really good for me to have that conversation. And I realized how much they've kept in them and how scared they were because now they had to do the surgery the second time. And all they were thinking was, what if it doesn't work? Because the first
Yeah.
time we've said it's a routine surgery, but your body was like, no,
Yeah.
we're not
No,
doing
it's
this.
not today. Like,
Exactly.
yeah. Oh,
But yeah, so they were like really praying and everything. And the second one was successful, thank God.
yeah.
And I know what I do remember verbatim when I woke up and like I saw my surgeon again, and he was never happy with my progress in terms of the correction because he wanted to
Okay.
make my spine really straight, but
Straighter.
my body
Okay.
didn't like it. So I think that's what they figured out that they were trying to overcorrect
Overcorrect.
and my spine and my actual spinal cord and my whole body was like,
This is too
this doesn't
much.
work.
Like, we can't
Yeah,
overcorrect. Like,
yeah.
okay.
So
Wow.
he kind of had to leave it. So it's still like major scoliosis in terms of like the curvature because he left it at 40/40. And I'm like, that's great because you've gone from like
Yeah. That's like,
90 and
yeah.
100 to like 40/40. But surgeons,
They
they want
want,
to
like, yeah.
they want to get the like best result. And I remember him saying like, "You're the one case that I wasn't happy with the correction." I'm like, "But I'm here. I'm fine." Like,
I'm happy, like, I'm with my family, I'm walking, like, thank
exactly.
you,
I'm
like,
walking, my legs are moving.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think because like them coming out and being like, nothing's working, she might not be able to walk again. Like my whole family were like, "What?
yeah, like, that's
What you mean?"
what do
Like
you mean? I thought that
exactly.
yeah,
So, like,
wow.
just being able to, like and then I also got an infection in that week as well, so
That
that
same
had
week?
to that week
Wow,
where they were waiting to, like, figure
waiting
out what
to
happened in the
figure out
second
what's
one,
going
I got an
okay.
infection, so they had to, like, again, wait for that to come down and then do the surgery, so it was, like, a whole thing.
Lot to go through, and then to have
Yeah,
that trust again to go in for
yeah,
round 2, like, just
absolutely.
just
So
a
that
like,
was yeah.
much love to your family, cause and you, and, like,
Honestly
everything you went through, but that's a lot to carry and, like, make
mm,
those decisions, and I'm just glad you had that support, and I'm glad you're here,
Yeah.
with me now. So I'm glad it worked
Honestly,
out.
something that I always say I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful to God. And I know that I need to share my story in some way because,
Definitely.
this is not, yes, it was routine surgery, but your case is different. Like you had to go through all of that at the age of 13. I literally just turned
Yeah.
13 and I had that's the surgery. So yeah, that's kind of like my story into like
Definitely a
Scoli
story
diagnosis.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
resilience and love and faith, and I just
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
That's
I'm so
right.
happy
Yeah.
you're here.
I'm happy to be here too. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Just like I read about it and but like
Mm,
hearing you talk about it and just it's just, it's different when you hear it come from the
yeah,
person who went through it.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just sit with it a moment because it's just wow. Ah, it just goes to show I think kind of going back to surgeons, it kind of goes to show they say routine surgery and they say this to comfort you and a lot of times it is a routine surgery, but it just goes to show we're all so different and what is
Exactly.
routine for one person is not routine for another, so it just shows maybe we need more research there too because for something so routine to not end up routine. Did they ever
Yeah.
kind of show? Well, yeah, it was the overcorrectivity, right? That's kind of what they'd
And
led to understand.
I think what my mum said as well, they had to then use a different screws or metalwork or something because
Okay.
maybe my body wasn't like maybe didn't like the
Enjoying,
original
whatever
thing.
type of metal they
Yeah,
chose?
so they then had to
Okay.
change it after. So like if you because I normally see people's surgeries and their screws are like individual screws. But if when I look at my x-ray, some of them have like a bar in between them. So I don't know if that's
Oh,
just like
like the
a
bar with the pin?
yeah,
I
yeah.
have one of them, if I'm
Okay.
remembering correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eh,
Okay.
I don't know. Do you know, I feel like no one actually remembers. So when I felt like more comfortable and confident to talk about things, I wanted to go speak to my surgeon last year, but unfortunately he passed away 2 years ago because I wanted to see like what exactly happened, like what was going on. So that's what led me to get the records from the hospital. And what it is stated in the record was like they lost neural monitoring, they had to reevaluate everything and they suspected that the neuron monitoring lost was probably because they were compressing the spinal cord. So they had to undercorrect the curve. So I'm sure they had like whatever original plans they had to correct it. But then
Yeah.
they stated that it had to be undercorrect for me to be like how I am today. Yeah. Yeah.
Glad they figured it out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
apparently I scared them. So I'm just like, well,
Well, you yeah, well, you scared me in my
yeah.
head. So
I can imagine them like doing the surgery and everything just going beep, 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 beep,
and they're
beep,
like,
beep. What's
"Yeah."
going on? Yeah, yeah,
Well, thank you for
yeah.
sharing that, and I'm so happy
That's
you
all right.
started to share it and feel comfortable sharing it because it's so important. So I'm glad you
Absolutely.
are enjoying
Yeah,
sharing your story.
yeah.
So that was at 13 years old. So
Mhm.
kind of take me on. Did you? Like, it kind of sounds like you always had this teacher in you. Did that kind of 13 kind of shape because I know you teach anatomy now and did that kind of shape what led you into teaching anatomy?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think, well, finally, after my final like post-op consultation, so you get like a 3 month, 6 month 1 year, 2 year for them to check everything. So actually, after when I got up, when I stood up from surgery, and I was like, oh my God, I'm this almost the same height as my surgeon. And I was just so tall. I felt like, what is going on? And also seeing my x-rays, I was like, this is amazing. Like you went from here to here. Like that is
Yeah,
amazing.
how
Like
many inches did you grow from
I
not that
can't
90,
remember,
100?
but I defo got tall and I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be taller than this, but I'm like, I'll take this. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'7" now. I'm like, it's okay.
Okay.
I'll take it. But I think probably maybe like 2-3 inches, considering it
Yeah.
was balanced, so they've like
So
stretched
congrats.
you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it felt so like weird, and seeing those x-rays, and then I feel like that was it. Because one, being told that, this is what happened to you and now you're much better because of like everything that went on. And then seeing the x-rays pre and post, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is it. I'm gonna change to like the sciences. So at that time in the UK, I think I was in year 8. And when you do years 9, you can kind of choose what subjects you want to study. So you're kind of like specializing a little bit. Then I chose sciences because after like my surgery and seeing everything, I was like, yeah, I just love
Yeah, I
science
want to
now.
know more, and I love it.
I went,
Yeah. So
exactly.
cool.
So that was kind of like what led me to like be more interested in the human body, understand it a bit better, kind of like understand what exactly like my body is, how it is. And actually my dream was to be a surgeon. I wanted to be a surgeon. Cause
So
after
cool.
that, I was like, this is what I want to do. And so that's what led down the route of like the sciences, of like studying the sciences, narrowing it down, and then going to university. I applied to medicine, didn't get in. So this is why I was like, okay, I'm gonna do anatomy, more of the research side. And
Yeah.
actually even being able to like do dissections and to create pro-sections, and just like the amazing things I've seen. I'm just like, the human body is like so amazing. I get so geeked out about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it because I feel like I'm like starting on that journey, but it's so beautiful to see like how surgeries and like scoliosis just put like so many people on their path. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so since we're on anatomy, um, I know that you also weightlift. You talk about how you started strength training and everything. So as this word,
It's such a it's long. Don't worry. Don't worry. I get it.
it's
It's
gonna
I always get tongue
and the
twisted as
and
well.
the and anatomist.
Yeah.
As an anatomist and weightlifter, you understand the body in unique ways, by like intellectual and physically. So, what about strength training has kind of taught you about learning how to trust your fused spine?
Oh, okay. So it's a great question, and let's work our way back, right?
Yeah, go.
So after the fusion, I thought I was fixed, right? Don't have scoliosis anymore because my spine's basically straight as it can be. Yeah. So I was like, and once I got the all clear from my surgeon, I was like, oh, okay, popping. We're living life. Like, what do
Yeah,
you
let's
need?
go.
Nothing happened.
Literally sound like
Literally
me. This is
nothing
hilarious.
happened. Like, yeah, I've gone through pain. Okay, we've done that. We've
Yeah.
had all the drugs. We've done, the sitting up, all the really painful stuff,
All
and
the
now we're
terrible stuff.
okay. And now the
Yeah.
surgeon said he's happy. So yeah, that chapter, it doesn't exist in my book. Put it away. So that was my mindset, and that was like what I was 15 then. So at 15, you're going through puberty. Your body's changing. I always had this like body dysmorphia so bad. I always thought I was big. I was like, I need to lose weight. I need to be skinny. Blah, blah, blah. So I at 16, so then 16, started going to the gym because it was around prom. So we had a high school prom. So I was
Okay.
like, got a prom dress, and I was like, I need to look nice in it. So
Yeah.
we're gonna lose weight, basically. And I look back to my pictures now and I was like, what was wrong? Were you okay?
Yeah.
I don't think you were okay, but that's fine.
Well, they
And so
don't
I was
give
thinking,
you the resources after surgery. Like I also experienced like ignoring my spinal fusion and just like
mm,
lollygagging through life. And then I found
yeah,
communion. I was like, oh wait, I still have scoliosis. I have to take care of my spine too. Okay.
exactly. No, no. Cause after, so like, cause like surgery is kind of positioned in the way that it straightens the curve. So it's fixed,
Fix.
right?
Mhm.
And but then scoliosis is so much more than that. Is that the muscle imbalances, the tightness you feel, and although I was experiencing that, I never attributed it to scoliosis because I've had surgery, so I am fixed. So this is just whatever it is.
Something
I don't
else
know.
or yeah.
Yeah, right? So basically, me wanting to be skinny, going into the gym along those lines, started to understand, oh, actually, weight training, the importance of it. And actually, it wasn't even the importance in terms of building muscle, it's the fact that, oh, I can build a bum. So here we go. Like, I'm going to build a
Yeah.
muscle to build a bum. Like, great. But then through that, I started to then realize, hang on, one side of my body's moving weird. Like one side can push more or one side can pull more. One side feels much weaker than the other. Like even when I'm like doing the workout and then I can actually see the muscle imbalances. So what is happening? Then I was like, maybe it is the scoliosis. Maybe this is affecting your muscles and everything else. But then, even then, there wasn't like any strength trainers that I knew that had scoliosis because I was following a lot of fitness influencers and personal trainers in terms of like exercises you can
Yeah.
do and all of that. But there wasn't scoliosis specific, and I also didn't bother to look for scoliosis specific because if we go back,
Wouldn't really think about it.
it's not, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yes. So as I was doing these exercises and I was like, no, I think let me go back to look at my spine. Let me think about like the muscles and everything. And I think maybe I should do some unilateral work. So then when I started to do unilateral work, then I saw that, okay, the imbalances are fixed, like they're getting better
Yeah.
and feel a bit like stronger to do than a compound lift. Because I really used to struggle with a push up because one side, so my right side, felt like it could really go down and come up more in a push up, and my left always felt weak. So then that's kind of what made me think, oh, I think it's my spine, the muscle imbalances, and everything. So then I was like, okay, let me do one arm chest press on this side, the other side, and then let me do a knee push up, then a push up, and see. So I basically started to experiment with my body to see how I can create this illusion of symmetry. Because when I was just strength training, I'll see that one side is more bulky than the other. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, what can I do? And how can I like be in tune with my body?" Then I noticed that, okay, my right side seems to have a bit more flexibility than my left side. So I was just basically just playing around with my body. And then as I was also like, I think at uni time I was learning anatomy. Then after like my uni, I started to teach. So then the more you dissect and you're reading into the literature and all of that and textbooks, then I was like, okay, wait, maybe there is something here to do with my muscle imbalances and scoliosis. Maybe I should focus on unilateral, but I still didn't fully kind of like believe or want to like believe the fact that no scoliosis is still there. Because again, in my head, you're
It's
fixed
fixed.
at
Yeah,
certain
they don't really tell
Like,
you it's not. If there's no, "Hey, there is Shroth,"
exactly.
or "There are things, and this lasts for your whole life." They don't tell you
Exactly.
that.
Right. Then
The
I
fact
started
that
to like,
you I just have to say,
yeah.
you're so smart and,
Oh,
like, to be on that journey at such a young age and, like, to
yeah.
keep dissecting, so, like, just keep going, but, like, I'm just, like I'm so, like, "Wow." Like, what a badass.
So like I remember where was it? So sometime, like I don't know if you also experience this, but like when you're packing and let's say you're moving or you're just going on holiday, I hated those because I knew that my left side, my left lower back is going to kill me. But again, I never thought it was Scoli. I just thought, oh, I've overdone it. But then over time, I was like, no, it only happens in certain activities, right? Like if I'm packing or maybe I've done a deep clean or something, or maybe I've sat for a really long time and my left back was so stiff. So I have to do like a manual massage. So I didn't really get pain before my surgery and no pain after. But then I started to notice muscle fatigue, like left back, right upper shoulder, so my traps, especially when I'm carrying my backpack and like I just carry my backpack everywhere and I'll walk for a long time. So it's got my books, it's got my laptop. I just know my shoulder's gonna give. And it was always the right shoulder and it was my left lower back. And I was like, yeah, no, this
This
is
is
this is just not, oh, maybe you're just weak here or something. Then I was like, no, it's the scoli, it's the curvature of the spine, and it's caused muscle imbalances, and that can't be addressed with the surgery because yes, surgery will kind of straighten out the spine a little bit, but it's still imbalanced. You still
yeah.
have that
Muscles are
imbalance.
imbalance. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think my biggest eureka moment has to be last year. I know like so the year before 2024 where I injured my lower back, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise, honestly, because it actually stopped me in my tracks and made me realize that no, you have scoli, it's still there. You need to know how to train for your body because you've now gone and you've injured yourself and you can't just be like, oh yeah, it's whatever. So I think that and finding my physio and him like talking to me about it. And one thing about my physio, because I really understand the anatomy, I always come with theories to like, and
Yeah.
he helps me kind of like understand the physiotherapy a bit better. So we had that conversation, then I go look into the research and then I experiment with something. I show him it and he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is
I
this is
love that.
working.
That's
This is."
so cool.
And I think that's what yeah, so me understanding how the body works and every time I look back and I think, "Okay, this is my spine. This is how the muscle should be." Especially when we come to like teaching and we're teaching like the back muscles, for example, because I can actually see we've got a cadaver, so I can see the back muscles, and I've not seen any cadaver with scoli yet. Apart from in the museum when I actually saw the individual with a curved spine in the museum that I went to, I've not seen how it would be and how the muscles will look like. So I kind of like try and visualize it with the cadaver kind of thing, and I
Yeah.
try to think, okay, how is that working? And then I just kind of put like, okay, if this is my spine, this is my back, what should I do to like
Even
balance things kind of
balance it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got like tons of notes, especially because I was doing physio last year and then I wanted to get stronger so that I can run because I moved to London and I don't know what it is when you move to London. Everyone you get this bug where you're like, I need to run the London Marathon. And that's basically what led to me injuring my back. Because I started training, did a 5K, did a 10K,
I
and
did
I was
see
gonna
that.
do
So you did that after you, like, healed yourself from the back injury. You ran the 5K.
yeah, I've done a 5K after the back injury and I've not attempted a 10K yet. I am very hesitant
Supposed
to
to
do
do
that.
one.
Um, I think I'm just gonna stick to 5Ks for now because the ordeal I went with my back injury and just then the surgeon also telling me about degenerative facet joints. It's kind of like made
What are
me
those?
so
I'm like, "What
basically
are those?"
what it is. So I think everyone gets a bit of degeneration, right? And
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna cause problems later on. But because I'm fused to L4, I
Okay.
basically just have L5 moving a lot.
Moving.
So the L5 facet joint, I don't have a skeleton here, but it's basically the joints that let you move a little bit to the side and it can also slide
Okay.
forward and back, right?
Okay.
I don't know if I have a diagram or something I
I
can
can
like
maybe throw one
show.
in here for us. When
Do
I
you
edit it, I could
Yeah,
probably
so
put
if you
one.
like get a
Yeah.
spine and then you can see like the facet joints. And so you see how like the two spines are together like
Yeah.
this, and then you have the disc in between, the herniated not the herniated disc,
So, like,
the
that gel that, like,
yeah, which
stops
is
the
like
bones from rubbing, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
fibrocartilage there. But then as the spine moves, let's say you're bending, you would have a joint on the sides, the corner sides, there's a joint. And so on my one, it's experienced some degeneration. And that's
Okay.
what was leading to my back pain at that time. And he was basically like, it's going to get worse over time because mechanically is the only one that's moving a lot, right? So I was like, okay, what does this mean? And it's like, "Oh, well, there's nothing we can do because you've got all this metalwork in there and that's the only one that's moving. If it doesn't get better in terms of like the pain, you might need some steroid shots." And I really left that consultation feeling disheartened. And
Yeah.
so I went back
I
to my
get it.
physio, we spoke about it, and it's like, no, we need to work on our core. We need to work on our strength. We just need to figure out what we can do. Just because there's degeneration doesn't mean you can't have any movement. Because I think if anyone heard that, they'll probably think, should I then stop weight training? Should I stop
Yeah.
running? Should I
A
stop
lot
the
of people
movement?
do.
Right? And so it kind of, but then having my physio and just speaking to him about it, it just made me reassured. And then I went into the literature to figure out about facet joint degeneration and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what does it say? And we know that the lower the fusion, the more likely it's going to happen because mechanically you then have all
All
that
that
side,
pressure and like, okay.
and the load is just basically on that. So imagine all you've got this massive cement block sitting on this vertebra that moves, and that vertebra is doing all the movement.
All
So it's
the
taking all the load, whereas it should be distributed across the whole spine, basically. So that was, yeah, that's kind of like how I didn't know me starting weight training because I wanted to be skinny was actually good for me. And that's what made me understand more about my body. And it made me realize that, oh no, you're not, your scoliosis isn't fixed
isn't
because it's
fixed.
more than just the spine. You know, you've got the muscles, and let's not even go on the emotional aspects of it, the self-esteem issues, the confidence and everything.
Yeah.
And
All connected.
it's all connected. And so I think, yeah, for me, it's just every time I love experimenting with my body because I
Yeah.
think because I've basically been figuring things out by myself and now finally coming to terms with like, no, like Scoli is still there. And now like seeing people like, so there's like Dr. Beth, there's Dr. Laura who are
Yeah. They're amazing.
scoliosis specialists, and just them also like with the work that they're doing and everything, it just kind of makes me realize that, oh, okay, I was on the right track. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is,
Literally. Because
yeah,
Dr. Laura has,
I was basically doing it
yeah.
in a different way. And I think if I knew earlier that basically I wasn't fixed, I probably would have done like more research into that sooner. But I don't think it's too late. I think
No,
even
never.
now is very much, I now know how I should train, and I very much want to understand what to do better for the long run, considering now they've told me, oh yeah, the joints are degenerated. I basically want to see, is there something I can do where it just stays as it is and it doesn't progress so much
Yeah.
in that area. So that's basically what has been in my head for like since that diagnosis and everything that I've been doing. Yeah.
You definitely put a lot of like work into yourself and it's paid off. And I'm
Yeah.
so happy. And it's never ever too late. Like I am someone who I think this year will be my 10 years and it's only over the last like 3 years that I've like really started to learn about what you're talking about and Dr. Laura has said because like who would have thought? Like you just have this major surgery and then like years later, like you're like, wait, like even going into an MRI, like that to me sounds like I'm not a therapist or like anything medical diagnosis, but like it sounds like PTSD because of what
No,
we went through. So
absolutely.
like it's
Yeah.
all the dots are like connecting for me finally over these last like 3 years just being online. Like and
Yeah.
just I'm so happy I'm so happy you found like those resources too. And it absolutely is never too late to start learning more about our
Yeah.
fusion yeah, like I just like love that we're just never too late. I
No,
just want to say never
absolutely.
late.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Love it. I just wish that there was more. Like it's really cool that they gave you a booklet pre-surgery. But like
Yeah.
could we get a booklet post-surgery?
I think, do you know, it's so interesting that 'cause I spoke to the nurse specialist at Evelina's Children's Hospital,
Okay.
and she was actually the nurse on my case. So it was so nice to see her. And she's like,
Yay.
"I remember you," and I was like, "Oh." And we were talking, and I was like, "Okay, what does she think the future of
Yeah.
surgery, post-op, everything?" And we really got into an interesting conversation about having this multidisciplinary team beyond the nurses and the surgeons, but also having therapists on site,
Yes.
also having like the physios post op. Because the physiotherapy I got was okay, so you're going to learn how to roll on the bed. You're going to learn how to sit up from the bed like a little log. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, I love being a
And then
love.
you're going to learn how to stand
Yep.
and then walk and then squat, and that was it. And
That was
then
it.
you get discharged.
Yep.
It's that.
I can't
That
believe like that was it. And like yours was at 13 and mine was at, I don't know what our age difference is, but mine was at 25 years old and it was still like that.
still the same.
Yeah. And that was 10 years ago, almost.
So
Yeah.
you did that, and then
That was it.
they just
And
said
then they
go.
just,
Yeah. Yeah.
or they do physical therapy and it's not physical therapy for scoliosis. So like you're doing all this stuff and it's not even physical therapy like for scoliosis, which could do harm. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just been, because I think one thing that I still laugh at now is how I was like doing my sit-ups, and it will hurt my back, but I'm
It
still doing
hurts.
sit-up. Girl, I was like,
Girl, what?
yeah, I'm doing
Broke
I'm
up with those.
I'm like, yeah, we're doing sit-ups. Yeah, my back's hurting, but it's,
But it's
and then like I
fine.
was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Why? Why?
Do that.
Don't do that. I was very much like, what, like, because I didn't even know, oh, there's this way to train your core or how to train your core. I was like,
Which makes so much
yeah,
sense. Like,
yeah,
because even when you hold your core in, like you feel your back muscles get stronger. You just
exactly,
feel more like, so it's
exactly.
wild that,
And then
and
what
like
we,
that's what they say, but they don't really say like these are the safe exercises. Give up sit ups or like you have to figure that out, and it takes time, like
yeah.
to
And
figure
I
it all
think
out.
maybe the reason why it's difficult as well is that everything depends on your level of fusion, right? So let's say you're fused or your thoracic, so your upper back and your lower back is fine. You will be able to do a sit up, right? Because you can do that flexion. You will be able to do like bending, because bending comes from the lower spine. So I think maybe the reason they can't, yes, they can do more, but in terms of exercise has to be uniquely tailored to you, because again, it's fusion dependent, it's based on your body. Like two people can have the same level of fusion, but their mobility might be a bit different as well. Maybe because of like hip, knee, or ankle. So maybe they can, like, they may be able to squat, but then the other person can't squat really low. So we need to think about what that person can do or can't do. So I think in terms of exercise, it's really great. Like whenever you decide to do it, like post
Yeah,
surgery, once you get the all clear, therefore train your core and go to like scoliosis specialists who know how to tell you the exercises to do to train your core. And I think the other stuff you might have to figure it out, and you might have to, like, it will take time,
yeah.
because I used to do a lot of back squats, but then when I got the diagnosis of the
The
degeneration,
one
yeah,
that's when
with
the
the,
bar's behind on this side. Okay.
yeah, and then I was thinking, hang
Those
on,
hurt me. Those hurt
right?
me the most.
Exactly. But for me, if I had the bar lower, I didn't have an issue with it. So if I had it like mid back, like here,
Like lower. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't have it on my traps. I'll let it sit lower, and then
Ah,
I could go down. But then I started looking into spinal mechanics and how that basically causes more load
load, right?
than
Okay.
if I had a front squat. So now
The
I've started,
those are better. I like these and these. I
yeah,
don't like the back squat for my fusion.
exactly. And a lot of people don't like the back squat, but then because I figured out how to do the back squat comfortably, I was like,
I
well,
have to
surely I can
try
keep
this.
doing it. But then now I've read and I've learned about the load and the mechanics. I was like, yeah,
Not worth it.
not worth
Yeah.
it. So now I need
Okay.
to do a front squat. So it's not that it's bad. Like if you like to do a back squat, you can do it.
Yeah.
But it's just when I've read that and I've learned about the load, it's better for me to do a front squat
Yeah. Maybe
compared to a
someone
back
who's
squat.
like a thoracic only may have like better time with the back squat.
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
So
Wow.
it's like these things that I've been playing with, trying to understand, okay, the spinal mechanics and my level of fusion, considering there's only one thing moving and we need to protect that. And
Okay.
what exercises I used to do, can I keep doing them? Is it less load or should I think of an alternative? So like with the back squat, I've now done a front squat and like unilateral work. So lots of Bulgarian split squats. And even with that, they're
But
so
they're so
hard.
good,
But
but
this is
they're
exactly.
they're so good, but they're monsters. Monsters.
Exactly. But then even with that, also making sure like I pay attention to my hips so that I'm not doing too much, bending to one side or like, yeah. So it's all those things where at least if there was something just explaining that, it'll be great. And then when people want to start exercising post surgery, they can do that. And also, like one thing about what I've noticed with the community is that how there might be similarities, but everyone's story is very different, and everyone's story is so unique because your spine's unique, your body's unique, how you move is unique, and also like how I think people like surgeons telling people, "Oh, you can't do this." Or you can do this. And I'm like, that's a lot. And one thing I'm so grateful for, my surgeon never said you can't do X, Y, Z. So I was like, oh, free range. I'm gonna do everything. And in
Yeah.
me doing whatever, I figured out, okay, this isn't good. This is good. This isn't good. This is good. But then I think once you say, oh, you can't do that, you're making that
Fear.
person feel limited. And then
Yeah.
they'll have this like mental block, which is going to be so hard to overcome because like you've just said, let's say you had the surgery as an adult, right? And you've lived all your childhood doing whatever. And then now you're told you can't do X. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, how are you going to come out of that? Like things that I do now or things that I did as a kid, I wouldn't do now. Cause like the older you get a bit, you're not as like free as you were as a kid. I think I'm making more sensible decisions compared to
Yeah.
when I was a teenager and I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. But now I'm, oh wait, no, you can't, you
You
shouldn't
can't
do
do
that.
don't
It's
do
not,
that. Yeah. Yeah, I could
yeah.
look back at like 25-year-old me, like there are so many things I probably shouldn't have done. I'm supposed
But then it gives us our stories, in it? It's just
to.
life will
It's
be
so
boring
funny.
otherwise.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
Um,
But, yeah.
that is so, so cool. And honestly, just like the way you explain it and the way you like come online and share your journey, it's really, really cool because it just gives me like I think sometimes we always look like for other resources, but like what you've kind of shared and kind of how I'm taking it in is like take those resources and experiment with them. Or like I always have in my head, I need to pick one thing to start with, but like maybe just like starting with experimentation with like so
Yeah.
many different things would be
Yeah. And I
because I
think
love
like
that.
if you like have, let's say you've gone to a scoliosis specific therapist and they've given you a set of exercises and you're doing them, that's great. And now they have like, they can do virtual consultations and all of that. So even then you'll be doing the exercise, but you also need to pay attention on how it's working for you,
Feels.
how
Yeah.
it's feeling for you. Are you doing it properly? Because I think I started recording to share content, but I didn't know that it was actually showing me things that I was doing wrong because it then showed, oh no, your hips are not aligned. You're not doing this exercise to target your core properly. Because I'll go back to my physio and I'll be like, oh, that felt a bit easy. And he's like, are you sure? Then I do it. And he's like, yeah, that's why. You've basically come out of the correct form. So you're using another muscle than the muscle I want you to use. And so it's things like that. And then I'm like, you still have to pay attention to your body. And I think yeah, just have fun with it, have fun with exercise. Definitely everyone should be strength training. You shouldn't be lifting like
Uh,
the craziest heaviest thing, but starting with that, especially as women. And we know in terms of as we get older, our muscle loss and all of that. So yeah, yeah.
Definitely need to be more consistent. It's my
It's
biggest
hard
fight.
though.
My biggest fight is consistency in the gym because, like, I don't know, it always for some reason I think it just always brings up like for me it's like shame and it's just like darn why haven't you been consistent? Like I wish I was here already. And it's just like no, just shut up and just do it and you will be where you were and then if you just keep going, you'll be further than that. But I just need to
Yeah.
keep going.
It's hard though. Like I feel like in terms of consistency, if I think back to my journey, I've not been consistent throughout. I would say the most consistent I've been was last year. So I kind of came out of this whole weight training thing because the whole fitness industry was just a bit much. And I felt like I was never really training for my body because I didn't understand my body. I was just, okay, I'm growing the bum, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So when I started running, I really enjoyed running because gave me this mental escape. And each day it was like I'm still pushing myself. So let's say I'm doing like a 5K or like a 2.5K, for example, and I did it in like half an hour. Then I try it 2 days later and I do it in 25 minutes. I was like, oh, this is good. You're getting faster. It was a new challenge. And I think it then got me out of this whole thing of like, okay, I need to train and get a tiny waist and get a big bum and da, 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 da. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So it made me feel very insecure in my body. It made me, so I just went out of strength training, started running, and I realized that no, you still need to do strength training to run. And that consistency thing is so hard, especially if you're trying to figure out your body. And my main thing is pick how many days you can do. If you've got like weights at home, if you'd rather be at home than to go into the gym, do that. If let's say for the first 3 months, you're like, okay, I want to be able to do 20 minutes for 3 days. And in those 20 minutes, I am going to be present and I'm not just gonna like just do the movement and get out of there. No, in those 20 minutes, you're gonna do, let's say, a lunge, a push up, whatever, and your core work. And then the next 2 days you do it. And you can do it at home because like, or your living room or wherever, because that feels more safe. It's
Safe.
somewhere you know
Yeah.
compared to going to the gym. And if you're able to do that for 3 months and you really like get in tune with your body, then you can create yourself more targets. I've got friends that I am still trying to convince to this day to start lifting weights, even if it's just at home. And I'm like, okay, just FaceTime me, we're going to do the workout at home. Let's just do it because I really want women to start strength training and using body weights is equally as effective. Obviously, as time goes on and as you progress, you will want to add load. And you can even do
Yeah.
that at home without going to the gym. You can get like, if you have enough space and you can get like a kettlebell, a dumbbell, a barbell, or resistance bands, that is so much possible. Because I think the gym environment also gives women a lot of anxiety,
It really does. I've tried so
which
many
is
times,
fair.
but like every time I could be there for like 4 days and then like one day I'll wake up and I'll just be like, oh my God, and I'm too afraid to go. Like it's
Yeah.
wild. But I've never been able to like
No,
do it.
that is like if you've got a friend that you can go with, that's another thing that could help you if you want to keep going to the gym and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I've got a friend, you can do that. Or maybe if you FaceTime someone, it's to just give your mind that distraction so that you can just do the workout. Because I remember when I even started, I was so anxious. I was so anxious in that space. And I think during uni, what really helped me is that I was training with the gym bros. Men just walk in like they own their place.
They do.
Okay. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to train with you. And the more you do that, you get used to the environment. And then even when I wasn't going with them, I was so anxious to just go into like what people tend to call the men's area, but it's just where all the big weights were. And you
Yeah.
see men
Love
there.
barbells. Yeah, it's literally my
Exactly, and
favorite.
there's lots of men there, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." Psych myself up. I can do that.
Yes.
I can do it. So I'll always put on, like, music that's gonna psych me up, and then I pick a space, and I'm like, "If I'm able to just squat here today, that means tomorrow I can come back to that space and do it." And then the
Okay.
more I
Like
did
more
that, I realized
intention too.
yeah. The more
Yeah.
I did that, I was like, "You guys don't even know what you're doing. I'm sorry. No, you're not
Yeah,
about to
I
intimidate
believe
me.
that.
Like, you're not doing that." No, and it's so hard. It's and I completely get why there's women's only gym and so much. Because one, sometimes as well, there are some pervs in the gym,
Yeah,
and they're, like, looking at you weirdly, and you're like, "I don't wanna
it's
be here." Like,
terrible. It's
it's
literally.
hard. Or, like, you might feel like, "Oh, I'm being silly," or like, I feel stupid and things like that, and, like, I've had, like, my friends tell me that, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, it's quite intimate." I'm like, "Call me, like, FaceTime me, put me on their side, and we
Yeah.
can do it."
We
Like
need to take up space. I think, like,
yeah,
as women, like, we just are so hesitant to take up space,
yeah,
and I just it's
absolutely,
ugh,
we
you're
do.
motivating me. I need to take up
You've
space,
got
and
this.
I can do
Take up
this.
space, and if you ever like, "Okay, I'm going to the gym today, I don't know what to do," call me. Like,
I
you can
will.
FaceTime me,
I will
call
call
me,
you,
be like,
Fanny.
"Okay, what am I supposed to do?" Or even if I'm like, I could just be on the corner and you could just do your workout just so that you feel like someone is
Someone's
there
there. That's,
with
like,
you.
something we do in, because I have, like, ADHD, that's, like, one of the things it's called body doubling. And I never
Ah,
really thought about it like that, because like, if you hate something, like, I'm really bad at laundry, it's, like, the worst task for me to get done. So, like, if someone just sits next to you, it helps get things done. So I never really thought about that from a workout
yeah,
point
it's
of
to
view.
distract you.
That would
It's
be
like I hate
helpful.
cooking. I absolutely hate cooking. I call my sister when I'm about to cook, so
I
she
love
distracts
that.
me, and
A
then I get it
foodie?
done.
You're a foodie and you hate
I
you're
am.
a
I'm a
foodie. I
foodie
know
who
you're a
hates
big
cooking.
foodie, but
Yeah,
you hate
yeah, yeah.
cooking. That's
I
so
hate
cool.
cooking. I do not no, I like baking, but cooking is such a chore,
I'm so the
and I
opposite.
think 'cause the
But
people around me love to cook, so
oh,
I'm gonna
cool.
eat the food.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Yeah, I
yeah.
recently, like, just started loving cooking, so that's funny because 'cause I'm
What have you
also a
made?
foodie, like, oh my gosh, that's one thing that I could think of. Like, recently I made, like, miso dumpling soup, and then
Okay.
I've made Peruvian birded chicken, like, all my favorite things, like, I've just been trying to, like, make, like, different, like,
You can
culture foods
yeah,
of, like, foods that I really enjoy and learning more
yeah.
about, like, ingredients. It's been
That is so
fun.
good. You're, like, really
Yes.
experimenting. I'll just cook one thing and eat it for the whole week, but then I'll go out and
I
eat, or
wish.
when someone comes, I'm like, "What are you making for us?"
That's so funny. What's your favorite food?
Oh, I don't have one. I actually don't have
Ugh.
one. What I do love is anything with chocolate in it. Okay, so chocolate cookies, brownies, a mocha, anything with chocolate, yeah. But food in general, I eat anything and everything. I just like eat.
No, I
It's
really
so
love it.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
literally the best. I watched all your trips, like, when you went to Ghana, and I was like, "That looks
Have you
so
seen these cheeks?
delicious."
I ate and slept, and
Good for
like
you.
Ghanaian food, because like
It
it's
looks
just
delicious.
home. It's just
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so
It
good.
must feel good to
Young
go back
people.
because you moved there because like, you moved UK because of, surgery? Like,
No, so we
specifically?
just like relocated,
Oh,
and
just
it was
relocate.
so
Okay.
crazy. So we were like, God works in mysterious way, because the timing of relocation, like, it was basically diagnosis, relocation, surgery.
Okay.
And we're like, we think back to it and we're like, what? That like, what are the
Yeah,
odds?
wow.
It
What
just
are
it
the
just
odds? It lined
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. It just everything was just like, yeah, honestly, we were like, it's just God, because it
Yeah.
just doesn't
That's
make sense.
beautiful.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like, it was just, I think for me, because like, one thing about the awareness, which is so important, bringing it back to that, is that you when we're clothed, right, you wouldn't tell someone has scoliosis, right? It's
Mhm.
not always visible. And so because of that, and I think because of that, and also having the surgery, I literally had in my mind that I don't have scoliosis anymore.
Yeah.
So why should I talk about this traumatic thing that I went through? And I didn't know that in talking about things and in sharing online, I realized that, oh my God, I've held on to so much trauma and so much that I went through. And some people also needed to hear me speak on it. Some people
Mhm.
needed to have that outlet. It's just been so reassuring and so much like, oh no, like even the little things, even things that you think, okay, yeah, you've overcome
Like it's
that.
all in your head. Yeah.
It's all in your head and you need to speak about it and you're healing yourself through speaking about it. Yeah, I never thought that, oh, this is something I was going to do, and it's so, like literally, I wanted to start it. It's crazy. During the pandemic, I used to like make little videos of me doing home workouts during the pandemic. And I was like, oh no, I need to speak about how I'm training with scoliosis because it was basically during the pandemic where I started to understand my body more because I was doing
Okay.
the home workouts. But it meant that I had to be very intentional. And that's why I mean what I mean by body weights is so effective because it makes you in tune with your
With your
body.
body.
When you have the
Yeah.
weights, because sometimes they're so heavy, you just wanna do it and get out of there, right? But when you drop it to, "Okay, I'm using my own body's weight, and we're gonna think about how do we make it more challenging," and that was when everything started to click, and I was like, "Oh, this is it." So then through that, I was like, "Oh, I need to post this online," but I never did. And I literally have archives of those videos. I was like, I never did because I was like, no, but I don't want to talk about this. But like, why should I talk about it? I've never seen anyone talk about this thing. And I'm always the only one. Like, I've literally never met anyone like me. So then it's just going to be me. And why should I talk about these things? I just talked myself out of it.
Same. Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, wait, people wanted to hear me talk about these things. And like, people want to feel seen and to like just really understand that you're not the only one going through things. Because I used to journal a lot. And when I read my old journals, I'm like, baby girl, you were going through a lot.
Yeah.
You were really going through a lot. And that comes to that mental aspects of it, especially with like self image.
Yes.
'Cause
A
I
big
ended up with
one.
2 spas instead of 1, and I was very much like, "Okay, if I'm gonna wear a dress, like, how do I do it? Fine, my I don't mind the scar showing, but then my back is still not that straight."
Yeah.
No, but then I was like, "No, I'm very much I" when I start to realize these things are getting to me and it's really knocking me, I have to be like, "No, just wear that dress and see how you
Yes.
feel and see what happens." Wear the bikini, what happens? And then over time, I realized that when it comes to confidence, you have to try the hard things. And as you build it up, it gets easier. But you will get some days where it just knocks you and you're like, well, it looks like we're back to square one. But
Yeah.
at least you've done the hard work. So it's not necessarily back to square one. It's just you taking the time to then build yourself back up again and say, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to wear this and we're going to be a bit more confident. And even if you're not feeling confident, you'll be okay. And
You
it's
walk
just,
in it anyway because then
yeah,
it'll get better. And I love
absolutely.
that because your scar is
Yeah.
beautiful and you're beautiful and you should never
Yeah.
ever feel otherwise. But I know we
Yeah.
do because that it's literally just grief. I think like it's took a very long time to put grief to the word of what,
Yeah.
you're grieving your old
Yeah.
body or so it's and it repeats. So it's just you hold space for it on the days that it feels heavy and on the
Yeah.
days where you feel like you know? You
Good
you
for it.
you indulge in that, but it's
Yeah.
just about
Absolutely.
accepting your journey, and I love that you're sharing it because honestly, it resonates. Like, you saying literally you saying on here that you just were, "La, la, 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 I don't have scoliosis," was me and was so many other people because we were just like, "What do you do?" But now
Awesome.
embracing that, and I'm glad that you're getting to embrace it because it really is just like it's like coming home and, like, getting to
Mm,
really, really start to self-love and start to self-respect and honor your body and your journey, so I'm glad you
yeah.
started showing up 'cause and I would love to see archived videos one day.
It will come. You'll see the baby face, like pandemic videos, me doing my little home workout. I was like,
Yes,
oh
go
my God.
Fanny, go.
It will come. There will be archive videos, honestly. But no, I'm just so glad to be part of this community and to meet like you. Everyone's just been so amazing and loving
No.
and just sharing parts of their stories and just talking about how much this has impacted them, which is something I never thought I'd be doing or it would resonate with people. And it's just like it was so interesting because I even met a friend of a friend who then was like, I have scoliosis, I've had surgery. I'm like, we've been hanging out for so long. No,
Were you
no.
so excited?
I was, and we literally just started talking about it. We went to the gym. I was just showing her how I modified my workouts and everything. And I was like, wait, we've been friends. We've known each other since university. Just because you're a friend of a friend, but I know you, we've seen you, we've hanged out, but we just didn't know. And that's the thing. You wouldn't
That's
know unless you,
why.
you say
Unless
it
you
or unless
say
you
it.
see my back or and you're like, oh, I've got a scar like that or something like that. And so that's why I realized that, oh no, like talking about it is actually important. Talking about
Yeah.
it is not just for us because I would have loved to have heard someone like me when I was younger, like, oh, this is what the surgery is like. And no, you watching those videos, just you trying to understand your body. And yes, it's hard, but it will get better and just embrace who you are and I think sometimes it's hard as well. I think for me, the reason why, again, being told I'm fixed and everything, I just wanted to detach from that chapter because, like, going back to school, like after surgery, you're so stiff. I got bullied for how I walk, being that stiff. It was just like,
Ugh,
so once everything was done, I was like, yeah, no,
close the door. Yeah. It makes
close
sense
the
why you
door.
wanted to.
Like, this
But
is
I'm glad
not,
you ripped it open.
yeah,
I'm glad you ripped this door open, and I'm just grateful that you're a part of the community, and it's just so
me
fun to
too.
keep seeing more people share their stories. It's the most beautiful
Absolutely.
thing ever.
Absolutely.
I
Wow.
could talk to you all day, Fanny.
Honestly, I feel like I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
No, I love it. What? Never apologize. You're so like educated. You're kind. Like this is. I'm having so much fun. But I do wanna. One thing I did since you're talking about like the past, I read the letter to your younger self. If no one's read that, I definitely recommend reading it because it was the most beautiful thing ever. Dear gorgeous girl, and it really stood out to me because I also wrote a letter to myself like before surgery. So I just thought it was really sweet, and I wanted to talk about it because
Yeah, of
I
course.
honestly cried reading it because it felt so healing. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So so thanks for that letter because I know it was for your younger self, but it resonated with
Yeah.
me too. So thank you. Right. Well,
You have your letter. Do you mind reading or is it personal?
oh, oh my God, I should have had it. My ADHD self probably misplaced it. I'm
Next
gonna
time.
post it. I'm gonna send it to
Yeah.
you.
Post your letter.
I'll
Post
post
your
my
letter.
letter and then yeah, because I'll tag your letter because I read that and I was like, oh my gosh. Um, but closing out, what is one thing? I know you have. What is one thing that you would tell to 'cause I know you had surgery at a young age, so maybe someone out there who's like a parent of a kid going through surgery at a young age, what would be your advice for them to their little, to the parent of that child?
I think to the parent of that child is to try and if there is a scoliosis community. So for example, in the UK, there's the SSR where parents can go to like some events for them to like understand it a bit more or to have each other to talk to. Because I don't think my family had other people who had similar experiences. So speaking to them now, I realize that, oh my God, they have held on to so much. And I don't think they've had that chance to let it out until I started to ask questions and then they started to be a bit more vocal about it. And while they had their other relatives and friends to talk to, it's not quite the same. So I think to a parent, if you can get the events to go to, or like, I think maybe they have a group chat or something, try and talk to someone else who has a child who has had surgery. It's interesting you asked this question actually. When I went to Ghana, I visited a patient who had the surgery in Ghana, and they had their surgery this, and I was able to speak to their parents, and the questions they asked, I realized that how much they needed that, and also being able to answer these questions because I've gone through the surgery,
Hmm.
and it'll be 4 years this year, and sorry, 14 years this
14.
year.
Yeah.
And their child just had the surgery, and they're like about, I think 4 months. So it's quite recent.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so just being able to speak to someone who's had the surgery for over a decade, seeing how well they're doing. As parents, they had a lot of questions. Is my child going to be okay? Will they be able to do X, Y, Z? And I think you won't be able to answer that question unless you know someone who has gone through a similar experience. And
Hmm.
so parents are able to like communicate with each other, like other individuals who have had the surgery, the diagnoses. It will give them that comfort and a bit more understanding of maybe, okay, this is what's happening. These are kind of like maybe this person's milestones because it's different for everyone, right? You go
Yeah.
to the post-op, but then maybe at home they're just not feeling too good. So maybe they might have some tips that they used for them to like have their child starts to feel good again. So those are things that parents could share with each other and also have that community and have that bond. Because if your child's gone through surgery, as a parent, everything is on you. You know,
Yeah.
you're consenting, like literally you're taking care of them. I remember my mom taking my bandages, making sure everything was okay. Like, okay, now you can actually have a proper shower, not just the patting down kind of thing, and they also have to live their lives. Like they have work, they have everything, but they also have to be present for you. And they might hold on to all that emotion because they don't want to see you like they don't want you to see them break down. And I was very strong for my family because I didn't want them to see me be upset or cry. I remember in the hospital when I needed to have like my bloods or injections, I would tell them not to come at this time because I couldn't hack seeing them see me, and it was just too much.
Yeah.
Wanted to go through that with the nurse alone, and then they will see me after because it was so. But then even for them, I'm sure they were probably upset about it, but they had to respect that this is what I wanted. So it's just them also having other people to talk to and to have a
Yeah.
better understanding of, no, what you're going through is okay. You might not want to speak to the child about it because they're going through a lot, but you can speak to someone else about it who has had a similar experience or has gone through stuff. And honestly, visiting the patient and their family in Ghana was just amazing because I was like, it was just so nice to be able to give them something back in terms of this is how it was, this is how it would be.
Yeah.
And even like then was like, okay, if they're going back to school, do they know like, okay, what chairs are they going to sit on in school, or have they sent a letter to the school? Because the system's quite different in Ghana compared to the UK, which I'm sure is different in America as well.
Yeah.
So like, and then they were like, oh, I'm gonna message the surgeon for them to write me a letter so that I can send it to the school, and just so that they know that okay, if their child needs to take more of a break or something, they can do
Like
that because
accommodations and stuff? They
no
have
more of
that?
like the sitting in the chairs because like
Yeah.
after surgery,
Yeah.
not every chair is conducive because it's
Yes.
just
I
weird.
hated the
So
chair. I would cry every day. They made me sit in the chair. I was so pissed off. Oh,
So it's just like being like, okay, if there's a chair in the class that is more comfortable, can that be put in his position for them to
okay,
sit on it?
good.
Or like something like that. Or like, because
Yeah.
I think as well, as a teenager, once you've had surgery, you don't really want to go back to school and be like, oh, I've had surgery. Because you don't want all the attention to be on you. You kind of want to blend in.
Yeah.
And the child might not then say, "Oh, I've had surgery, so I can't do this." So once they get the letter and they're able to send that to the school, at least the teachers know and the child doesn't have to be vocal in front of the whole class and be like, because
Yeah.
every teenager wants to be a part of the group. They don't want to feel too left out.
Singled out. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I think it's those things where you would only know from speaking to other parents who's probably gone through a similar thing, and just you also kind of like bouncing ideas off each other or being like, okay, their scar doesn't look too good. What did you use for it? Or
Yeah, like,
something
kind
like
of like
that.
their own parent community to kind of
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. That
Mm.
is really good advice because
Yeah.
I never thought of that because I guess I was older for my surgery, so, like, that's really cool, and I love
So
that you were
who
able
like
to what
who took
what
care of you on your surgery? Like how was that as an adult?
I'm not even kidding, those first 2 weeks were, like, the worst 2 weeks of my life. My mom was my hero, she took so much care of me during those 2 weeks. I was spent a week in the hospital, but then when we got home, I don't they forgot my pain medicine, so that probably is part of it. That wasn't able to stay on top of those, so that was fun. And then I had a moment where, like, my back, like, I heard a pop, and,
Ooh.
like and I don't know. I don't know what it was still to this day because it's fine. We never went back, but I woke up screaming every night in pain. I had a lot of insomnia going on, post-fusion, and I just, like, felt like it was never gonna end, and I also got sick and, like, like, having nausea, just having a spinal fusion, that was quite
Yeah.
terrible. It's just, like, all of it. They don't really prepare you
Yeah,
for what your body is gonna go through and what it's gonna fight to start to feel normal again because you've ripped so
absolutely.
many things from their home and now, like,
Yeah,
they're getting new homes, and that's kind of how I've had to, like, kinda break it down for my own brain to understand, "Why was this so painful? Was I being dramatic?" And then, like then you find out it's, like, one of the most painful surgeries. Like, I did not know that. So, like, I just thought, "What is going on?"
yeah.
But it was rough. It's honestly it's why I started this podcast. If, like, I literally cry about it the first time I ever start talking about it because it's just, like, such a it was definitely a lot at 25.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it at 13. I feel like it's such a heavy surgery, and I wish more people let people know it was that heavy
yeah,
before we went under because it's a
yeah,
lot to work through afterwards, like, thinking you're fixed and then learning that you still have this, and it's just definitely a journey, and
definitely.
I'm glad we're not alone, Fanny.
Yeah.
It's so nice to
Honestly,
have.
I don't think I would have been like, sometimes I'm like, okay, all of this happened with the injury, with the getting my scans and everything, and I couldn't have imagined doing that again
Alone,
without the
right?
community. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because what was going through my head was, crap, is the screws okay? Like, is the metalwork fine? Like, what if, And so just even being able to talk about it online and people like just being open to hear your story and just be there for you. I was like, oh my God. Because if I had done that by myself, that mental spiral would have been insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad, like, this has been so nice. I
Oh,
love
it's
this.
been so great talking to you. Honestly, I could go on forever. We
I
should
know.
do this
We
all the
really
time.
should. Well, I gotta get your number. We'll talk.
Definitely. Definitely.
Alright, well, is there anything you wanted to cover? I feel like we covered a lot. This was an amazing conversation.
It's been great. It's been great. No, I would say for anyone who has been diagnosed or they're gonna have surgery, please do reach out to people online, talk to them. Everyone's really nice, everyone's really friendly, and
Yeah.
don't feel like any question is a silly question because I think when I got asked about getting your hair done, right, I never thought about that. But then I realized like, how did I do it then?
Too, I was like, "This is like, cause it's so true when you go to the salon."
Exactly, but then
Yeah.
you wouldn't know until someone who is about to go through it or has gone through it is
Yeah.
asking these questions. So yeah, please share online, ask questions. We are always here to answer them. Like everyone's just really, really nice and welcome. So yeah, and like Jack has just invited me to talk, and it's just been fantastic getting to know her. And yes, honestly, I've had an amazing time here.
Me too. Well, everyone go Fuse? Fuse? Oh my gosh. Fuse,
Fuse not
not
fragile
fragile
fit.
fit.
Yeah.
You say it again without me interrupting you. Go
Oh,
follow
sorry.
Fanny on
Fuse not fragile fit. Yeah.
yes
On Insta. Yeah.
on Insta. Go follow her journey and always reach out if you have any questions. Thank you all for listening, and until then, I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.